Calon, New York, a scenic notch on the Borscht Belt where Sunday was a summer festival. In the cool waters of the upper Delaware, the 4th annual Canoe Regatta. 8 mind and muscle-bending races, billed as a test for experienced canoeists. They came with their canoes from all over the tri-state area, 250 strong with 125 vessels of brilliant hue. And at the gun, they were off.
No, you ain't woman enough to take my man. And when you're tired of fooling around, you are free. Come on home and fool around with me. Well, I wasn't fooling around the day I said I do. But many a night I wish that I'd been fooling too. I know it's foolish taking all misery, but when it's you, a fool I'll always be. 'Cause I know that you've been fooling round on me right from the start. So I'll take back my ring and I'll take back my heart. And when you're tired of fooling round with 2 or 3, come on home and fool around with me. Well, honey, fool around, you go right where it's at. Don't you worry if I'm lonesome, I'll get used to that. And when you're tired of fooling around with 2 or 3, come on home and fool around with me.
And at the finish line, in one of the slower canoes, Willis Reed, turning landlubber to present the awards. The entry fee for all this was $10. The proceeds go to Culver Herman Hospital and Delaware Youth Center. The winners of the championship race, 118, his partner 42, accept their awards for a record time of 3 hours, 9 minutes. In the air, a display of free fall prowess. And at day's end, the festivities over, Calon returns to its sleepy, hollow ambience. The distant thunder reminiscent of the fall of 9 pins. Calon, New York, a scenic notch on the Borscht Belt where Sunday was a summer festival. In the cool waters of the upper Delaware, the 4th annual Canoe Regatta. 8 mind and muscle-bending races, billed as a test for experienced canoeists. They came with their canoes from all over the tri-state area, 250 strong with 125 vessels of brilliant hue. And at the gun, they were off.
No, you ain't woman enough to take my man. And when you're tired of fooling around, you are free. Come on home and fool around with me. Well, I wasn't fooling around the day I said I do. But many a night I wish that I'd been fooling too. I know it's foolish taking all misery, but when it's you, a fool I'll always be. 'Cause I know that you've been fooling round on me right from the start. So I'll take back my ring and I'll take back my heart. And when you're tired of fooling round with 2 or 3, come on home and fool around with me. Well, honey, fool around, you go right where it's at. Don't you worry if I'm lonesome, I'll get used to that. And when you're tired of fooling around with 2 or 3, come on home and fool around with me.
And at the finish line, in one of the slower canoes, Willis Reed, turning landlubber to present the awards. The entry fee for all this was $10. The proceeds go to Culver Herman Hospital and Delaware Youth Center. The winners of the championship race, 118, his partner 42, accept their awards for a record time of 3 hours, 9 minutes. In the air, a display of free fall prowess. And at day's end, the festivities over, Calon returns to its sleepy, hollow ambience, the distant thunder reminiscent of the fall of ninepins.
It's like an old friend dying. It's very sad to see something that you really loved and worked hard for to, die.
How long have you worked for the magazine?
Only 2 weeks.
What are you going to do now?
Oh, there are plenty of other things to do.
Everybody was shocked. Nobody expected it. I think everyone had an inkling that something was coming, but nobody expected this soon.
Not much work was done in the Look offices today, as many of the 200 employees tried to assimilate the fact that they were about to be unemployed. Look magazine first appeared in January 1937, selling at 10 cents an issue. The first issue sold more than 700,000 copies, and after 10 months the circulation had grown to 1.7 million. Circulation in the first 6 months of 1971 averaged 6.6 million an issue, but the magazine was fighting a losing battle with costs. In the last 2 years, Look lost in excess of $10 million. At a press conference at the New York Hilton Hotel, Gardner Coles, chairman of the board and editor-in-chief of the Coles Communication, gave the reasons for the magazine's death.
Why did we fail? For a variety of reasons, which most of you have heard before. The economy went sour, and Look, after 21 consecutive years of profitability, became unprofitable. Television, particularly network television, cut deeply into our advertising revenues, and costs kept rising. Major costs are out of our control. Postal rates in particular have risen dramatically, and they are due to go much higher.
Mr. Coles called the high postal rates a tragedy. He said there will be many magazine casualties in the next few years. For many who worked for the magazine, its demise is a kind of personal misfortune. William Arthur, the editor, has worked for Look for 25 years.
You put 25 years of your life into a product such as Look and see it die, you're bound to feel very deeply about it. In the next few months, I'll be devoting my time to attempting to find jobs for all of the people in editorial. And after that, I don't know.
Do you feel that this magazine is sort of a child of yours?
Look is a part of my life. And but as a professional journalist, you ask what I will do in the future. Why, I intend to stay in journalism. I think the journalist is one of the most important people in society today.
Community Affairs Co-Ord. This is the bike ride with Gloria Rojas. Take one.
Who would have believed that 600 people would turn out at 2:30 in the morning? Yet there they were at the meeting place, the Seagram building on Park Avenue. Chief insomniac was Vincent Sardi. What do you think of this many people coming out in the middle of the night to ride a bicycle?
Well, I think Ms. Rojas, they just don't want to go to sleep, and I think, like myself, they want to find out what's on the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Are you surprised that this many people have turned out?
Yes, yes. I thought everybody at this hour of the night was in a nice restaurant drinking beer or something like that. New Yorkers are suddenly getting healthy, I guess.
Why do they do it?
I think it's just everybody wants something new to do. They just don't want to sit around in discotheques, and I think it's a young crowd, and it's a mixed crowd, actually, young and my age, and I think it's just something new to do.
By 3:15, the main body of the unbelievable bike brigade was through the Grand Central ramp and heading south, stopping here and there to do a little middle-of-the-night sightseeing. The Federal Plaza Fountain was a regrouping stop, but what a lovely setting for rest and recuperation. And then, like driver ants, they resumed the tour past the Plaza's mural. 600 New Yorkers who'd rather wheel through the sleeping city than follow the humdrum routine of getting a good night's sleep. At the Brooklyn Bridge, motorists were temporarily delayed as into the borough of Brooklyn rode the 600. And at the end of the tour, Prospect Park as the sun rose. The trees may profit from the fundraising bike tour, but so do the 600. Camaraderie, appreciation of the city, and the sight of the sun rising. Here, too, at the lake, there was much-needed rest and reflections. I feel a little bit tired. Are you in good shape?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Explain.
This was too long a ride for me. I have to go to work now and be a lifeguard. And I think I'm going to sleep the rest of the day. These people are going to definitely be in trouble.
Incredible? Insane? Of course. But very memorable. Today, the Bike Brigade 600 have conquered Brooklyn. Tomorrow, the Charlie horses. This is Gloria Rojas, a very tired Gloria Rojas, at Prospect Park.
East Flatbush, a typical middle-class Brooklyn community, but its residents fear for its future. Will it become a model integrated neighborhood, or is it doomed to be a ghetto? Homeowners, black and white, say that in recent years, East Flatbush has fallen victim to the blockbusters, unscrupulous real estate speculators who use scare racial tactics to persuade whites to sell cheaply and then unload the property to blacks at exorbitant profits. Hundreds of residents came to Meyer 11 Junior High School to a hearing on blockbusting conducted by City Human Rights Commission Chairman Eleanor Holmes Norton.
I was approached by a gentleman over the phone several months ago, and he said he was a house painter. And his name was Mr. Poppins. I told him I didn't need any painting, and then he asked me if there were any houses for sale in the neighborhood. I said to him, well, you must be a real estate man instead of a painter. He said no. Well, he called me back several weeks later, and I told him that I wasn't interested in selling my house and I was going to report him. He said, sell now. He says, the neighborhood's changing.
I get telephone calls daily of people who have put their houses up for sale. And the reason for these things are because of the fact that real estate agents, legitimate businessmen, so to speak, when you call them, and when they are called, they tell you this is designated. And that's quotes. Designated, in other words, quotes in terms of what I am being told. Designated for a black area.
It appears that on East 56th Street, between Clarendon and Avenue D, both of these houses have been receiving prospective buyers for approximately 2 weeks now. The streets are very heavily, predominantly white, with a few black homeowners there at the present time. Why? What is wrong that every particular prospective purchaser of these two houses that have been brought there by real estate brokers have been black and only black? This is what we are concerned with.
I must ask those of you who are here, to yourselves, and to have your friends follow the example of Councilman Silverman, because even if the evidence that you come forward with, and the councilman says that he hasn't had a chance personally to check these, nevertheless, he's been willing to give us information that can lead to hard evidence.
This was the first of 3 hearings to be held at various city neighborhoods faced with the block-busting problem. And they may lead to citywide hearings in the fall on both block-busting and racial exclusion. Their hope for New York City is integration without ghettoization. This is Joe Mancini in East Flatbush.
How many tennis enthusiasts would pass up the chance to learn from Pancho Gonzalez? So predictably, the stands were packed. The children came from the city's parks and playgrounds for what's now an annual event at the posh courts of Forest Hills. Lucky enough to get personal attention were 13-year-old Anthony Petralia and 11-year-old Garrison Brown.
He told me to bend my knees and to hit the ball in front of me. So now I should be doing that now, but I'm not.
Are you embarrassed when you take a lesson in front of all these people?
At first I was, but then as it went to the end, I started to calm down.
Pancho, he's a nice player.
What was he telling you about your Western and Eastern? I didn't understand any of that stuff. What's that all about?
He's been telling me about if I hit that one, I should follow through on it.
Well, show me what you're doing that he says you...
Come
Wait, what's that? That's your what?
It's my forehand.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's this Western and Eastern business?
I don't know.
You didn't ask him?
No.
Let's see what you do now. And what did he tell you to do?
He told me I should hold it like this.
Yeah, they were saying it was a style they hadn't seen around here in a long time. Also on hand was Australian ace Margaret Court Smith, who's not competing this year because she's going to have a baby. But she did find time to pass along some tennis tips and to reflect on why more youngsters are taking up the game.
Everybody always wants to be better at a younger age, but they've got to have a lot of patience and they've got to work hard and build up their stamina and conditioning and all this sort of thing, and they find that usually when they get to 15 or 16 they start to be a lot stronger.
Do you expect your own youngster will be interested in tennis?
Well, from what I see of other players that have had a family, they usually turn to swimming or to the beach or something else. They don't want to look at a tennis court.
Now it's just a few minutes later and the experts are on the court. As a matter of fact, that's Arthur Ashe in the far court. The kids stay on to watch, wondering, when will it be their turn? This is Gloria Rojas at Forest Hills.